today we're gonna do a really easy look. We're just gonna do like a quick, easy back to school look. It's what I would have done if I wore makeup to school. I think it's becoming a little bit more popular to wear makeup to school. I don't know, I wasn't popular in high school, so I didn't have time. Didn't have time to do it. That's a personal problem. So we are going to, we're gonna just do something easy that you can wear every single day, look like you tried, but you didn't. I am going to use L'Oreal. I'm going to use the Loreal True Match in W2. And I am just going to use my beauty blender. I'm just going to do a thin layer all over. Like I said, if you don't have a beauty blender though, you don't need to buy a beauty blender. You can use a, one of the, what are they called? Doesn't matter. Real Techniques. That's what it is. The Real Techniques. Or you can use we can even use a brush. Let's use a brush today. Why not? Sure. I'm gonna use the Morphe M439 big buffer brush. Why not? I will say I know in high school if I used a foundation, like a liquid foundation, which I actually really didn't wear that much in high school. I was more of a powder girl. In high school, I was not a liquid or a cream foundation person. If I did use a liquid or a cream though, I definitely probably just used my hands, but I don't recommend using your hands. It's really unsanitary. You don't get a good blend. You usually get like fingerprints and all that stuff. So if anything, invest in a Real Techniques sponge. If you're gonna use, I don't know why I'm having such a problem today. This is my second time filming this video, and it's the second time that I've gotten foundation in my hair. I'm gonna look like Cruella de Vil by the end of this and have just a white streak in my hair. And then we'll use our Infallible Pro Glow concealer. I will say this does have a smell to it, and it kind of, but it works really well. But it does have a smell. I am not putting this all over. I am just putting it in on top of my eyelids and then like underneath my eyes, and then in my nose, because that's where I get my redness, just like hormonal redness. And then I'm just using it basically as my eyeshadow primer. I like to use whatever concealer I'm using as my eyeshadow primer. But if you don't even like to wear eyeshadow, then it just gets rid of any redness or any veins you might have in your eyes. It makes you look a little bit more awake. Like I said, today we're gonna just do something really easy. Really easy. So I have the Morphe NB12 palette. I am gonna set everything with that color, the top, and just lightly sweep that across everything so that way there's no stickiness on my eyelids and I can blend everything out a little bit better. And I'm using the M503. And then I'm gonna take this color, and I'm telling you, this is gonna be like the easiest look. I was debating whether or not I would even film this look, but you can do this look basically if you are just in a hurry and you're like, I want to look like I tried, but I actually don't want to try too hard. So I'm just buffing that all over the lid and then up into the crease. And we are kind of working a little bit backwards, because then I'm going to take this top color here and transition that color and buff it out. And now this color, you can basically build it up and make it as dark or as light as you want it to look. And then again, going in with that transition color and buffing out the edges. And then I'm just gonna take an even bigger brush, the M502 brush, and just blend everything together. There's nothing on this brush at all. I'm gonna use the LA Girl Glide Gel Eyeliner in Deep Bronze. And I'm not gonna put anything of this on the lower, I'm just gonna do it at the upper. Just to define it a little bit. And then I am going to take my little pencil brush, my E36, and just blend that out just ever so slightly. And then whatever is left on that brush, that's it, we're done. Give your lashes a couple curls, because mine just stick straight out if I don't give it any curls. And I'm just using L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I will say I think this might be my new favorite mascara from the drugstore. I have tried a couple, but this one actually reminds me of, what did I get on my top lip? That's not cute. This one reminds me of the Velvet Noir from Marc Jacobs. I'm just gonna take the NYX bronzer in medium and a big puffy flat powder brush. I would suggest, like, if you, oh goodness, that was not cute. I'm gonna need to stipple that out a lot. If you ever go too heavy-handed, your beauty blender is your best friend. It will take away your extra everything. And then just stipple it out. I keep forgetting how pigmented that is and how pale I am. With a lighter hand on the other side. If you like only want one versus the other, I will say I like to put bronzer on versus putting blush on. It just makes me feel better about myself than blush. Now it's all your own personal thing. So like if you were crazy busy and you did not have time, you picked one or the other, I'd personally pick bronzer. But it's a personal thing. I'm gonna use the Makeup Revolution blush in Fusion. I tried this already. It's in my other video that I'm not actually posting. This is actually a little bit dark for me. It's very pigmented, so I just tapped my brush in it, and I'm doing that, so there's very little on it. And just putting that on like that. I put it on without doing that last time, and it did not look good. It was very pigmented, and I was a little scared. Okay, and then for highlighter, I am going to use Wet n Wild Precious Petals highlighter. And again, how I always lose this, there we go, this darn brush. I'm going to take the M501, and I think this is a great highlighter for teenagers. It's really natural looking, but it still gives you that on-trend look of being very highlighted and metallic. I think it's pretty. And I'm taking my beauty blender and just melting that into the skin a little bit more. This is like a go-to makeup look for me. Like Like when I don't know what I want to do and I need to leave the house now, this is kind of what I do. Brows are totally optional. If you don't like to do them, don't do them. Like I've said before, like I don't necessarily need to do them. I just like them done just a little bit to give them a little bit more structure, a little bit less sparseness. I also have some crazy freckles above my eyebrows, so if I don't do them, it looks kind of like that's my eyebrows up there. Everyone has their own first world personal problems. So I'm just doing them ever so slightly. If you're that girl that has crazy eyebrows in high school, don't worry, I was also that girl. We can talk about high school stuff in a different video. I actually had a lot of fun in high school. My mom says I didn't, but I look back at it and I remember it fondly, so I think that's what's important, right? If you remember it fondly, then who's to say it wasn't fun? Just don't take everything so seriously. It's high school. I'm actually gonna be going to my 10-year high school reunion in December, which is disgusting. So for lipstick, I'm gonna do one of my oldie favorites. About 3 summers ago, this was like my go-to, very easy. I'm gonna take the NYX liner in neutral, and I'm gonna line my lips. And this is honestly the same color as my lips. So then for lipstick over top of that, I'm gonna use the Rimmel London Kate lipstick in 08. Looks like that. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. If you could, hit that like button and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. I think you're too high. Too low. Too slow.